The other game in this episode is Dynasty Warriors 2. It may be odd to start with the second game, but since the original was a one-on-one fighting game and this game is technically the first game of a new sub-series, lacking the two in Japan, it made sense to start here. My grandmother had a demo of this game 20 years ago that I was very bad at, but that was it until I got this game for myself in late 2010. I only played it a little bit. When it comes to Warriors, the only other games I've played are a little bit of Dynasty Warriors Advance, a bit of the first Samurai Warriors, and a lot of Warriors Orochi Free Hyper, the two Hyrule Warriors games, Fire Emblem Warriors, and the first Dragon Quest Heroes. So just about the entire Dynasty Warriors series is a huge blind spot for me. What I do know about this series is that it's loosely based on the records of the Three Kingdoms, the historical text covering the Han Dynasty and Three Kingdoms period of China, spanning the late 2nd century to late 3rd century. I know very little about all this and the people included in this game, aside from what I picked up playing Warriors Orochi Free Hyper, and that was early 2014, 7.5 years ago as I write this. And through most of that playthrough I was smacked upon painkillers after a surgery that I then took 2 years to fully heal from. What this means is that I will not pretend to be an expert. I will only bring up what I know and learn based on playing just this game. It's not going to be much. And like the other game in this episode, this game is sentenced to this episode because there was a lot of grinding I never recorded, which may impact what I'm able to show when talking about my experience 100% in it. I have a choice between the main game, Musou mode, or free mode. Of course I'll be covering Musou mostly. I start with 9 selectable characters, 3 each from the Shu, Wei and Wu kingdoms. All characters from a single kingdom share the same Musou mode, and every kingdom has the same first level. I'll start with the Shu kingdom and not Zhao Yun. While I normally would start with the mascot, I'm saving him for the second level for a reason, so I'll be starting with Guan Yu. Also, I'm not an expert on Chinese names. I'll try to look up pronunciations if I'm not sure, but still expect some butchering. First level colours the Yellow Turban Rebellion in Spring 184. We get a cutscene of Zhang Zhao addressing the Yellow Turbans and hyping them up. After that we're put on the map screen showing the layout of the battlefield. Blue are me and my allies, red are the enemy. There's a background option that explains what this battle is all about, so maybe I'll learn something, if I can stay awake through the narrator's dull monotonous delivery. Basically, Zhang Zhao managed to gain many followers to rise against the Han Dynasty. Yellow Turban comes from his followers wearing yellow cloths on their heads. The Han send out a call for help since there's hundreds of thousands of yellow turbans. The characters I play as in this fight are among the people that answered that call, I guess. This is the first one. I expect if I get to later games they'll give me a more detailed picture. We start with a short scene of my army marching. I'm that green arrow on the minimap. Above said minimap is the morale meter. The bluer it is, the harder my AI allies will fight. Guan Yu fights with Guan Dao. He's strong with long range but low defense. Right now his basic combo is enough to kill the enemies here. Due to my character being the starting level, I have 2 bodyguards that follow me around and help me out. Around here is the general over the troops in this section, Yang Zheng. I knock him off his horse and just keep swatting him along the ground until he dies. On his death, a gate opens into the compound. In here, when I get surrounded, I use my Musou attack, which is a strong attack that repeats until my bar is empty. And thanks to the amount of enemies surrounding me, it fills up again pretty quick. I also have a strong attack I can use either on its own or as a combo ender. Another thing to point out is the game giving you a little recognition for every 50 kills by flashing the number over the screen. Enemies also can drop items when they're killed. Sometimes it's just food to recover health, but there's also this axe that doubles my attack strength for 30 seconds. After a bit of clearing out this corner of the compound, another general, Bo Zhang, shows up. I somehow managed to fight and kill him with him spending 90% of the time out of my view. During this my bodyguard is also killed, but that's not a big deal. His death opens another gate further into the compound. A little after this my other bodyguard is killed from the sheer volume of enemy soldiers. I head over to the far east of this section to take out a gate captain. When these are taken out, no more reinforcements can appear through that gate. One of them also drops an item that increases my defense. I move west into another section of the compound. As I enter, I'm already taking on the next general, Yao Zheng. He drops me an attack boosting item and his death opens up the west gate so those guys can get in now. After clearing out some more troops, the guys in the northwest have managed to get their gate open too. Around this spot, Cheng Yonji, another general, rides up to fight me and get killed. I believe all the generic generals, who all share models and animations, were real people during this time, but weren't deemed important enough to be made into a full character. In fact, I think quite a few playable characters from later games start off as generic opponents in this one. His death gets me another attack up. I should say that the stat plus items I've been getting from generals are all permanent stat increases, not temporary like that axe that gives double attack. So it is best to kill as many generals as you can to make yourself stronger. I'll not point them out from now on, you can just assume I got some kind of stat boost from killing a general. This latest defeated general opens another gate. At this point me and my allies now have control over just over half the map. I take out another gate captain in the north and then head into the northeast section of the compound. In one of those boxes is a PS2 memory card so I can save my progress. These act as the only checkpoints in these levels, and they fully heal you. Better hope you don't save a checkpoint seconds before I lost it, otherwise you could render the level unwinnable. While my allies deal with the rest of the generals in this section, I head east into the mountains to take on Hue Yi and his group. While fighting them I get my 400th kill. This is such a small number compared to the games I'm used to. Once Hue Yi is defeated, I keep following the mountain path. As I make my way along it, on the northern mountain path, Zhang Bao starts making heavy winds blow. I mean, sucks to be those guys, but it isn't my problem. I keep following my own path, having to single-handedly take on every enemy on the way since everyone else around me is dead by now. During this I lose my first ally, Lu Ji, to Zhang Bao's winds. But he's not even a playable character, so who cares? And I have He Jin telling me to fall back because I got too far ahead. I ignore him. I will say that your first level playthrough with the character with their starting stats always tends to be pretty painful. Groups of enemies take forever because you're not powered up enough yet. I also get dangerously close to death. On this path there's another gate captain for me to take out. I even try out some arrows here, but I don't find them to be that useful. As I near Zhang Zhao's fortress, the next general I have to take on is his brother, Zhang Liang. He gets me down to the tiniest bit of life. I have no choice but to knock him down, ignore him and run away, towards the masses of enemies coming from the fortress. As I'm running around looking for something to heal me, I trigger the cutscene introducing Zhang Zhao using his firepower to take out some of my troops. Right after I find this level's other memory card for that full heal. Of course, the 50 or so enemies surrounding me start plinking away bits of that health immediately. Around here I grab an item that gives me full unlimited Musou for 10 seconds so I can just keep spinning my weapon around and kill loads of enemies. All the while He Jin is still nagging me to come back. You're not even a playable character, you're generic like the guys I've been killing, you don't tell me what to do. Elsewhere another group of allies is getting closer and Zhang Liang starts making rocks fall on them. I leave the fortress for now and head back the way I came. I take out a gate captain I skipped due to my low health. I get back to Zhang Liang and kill him to get rid of the falling rocks. Those stuck at Zhang Bao's winds will just have to deal. I hang around the fortress killing some more enemies before I head up the hill and finally confront Zhang Zhao. But first I take out the nearby gate captain to cut off his backup. Now it's time to fight Zhang Zhao. He has a lot of health, high defense and he can heal himself a little. Only strategy I have is to keep breaking his guard and hitting him. It takes a while, he manages to throw out very few attacks of his own, but I eventually bring him down. I don't know much, but I do know that the real life Zhang Zhao never died in battle, but of illness. You can watch a replay if you want, but there's not much interesting to see. My kills all get added up for points, which gains me 3 levels up to 4th Spear General. It also powers up my bodyguards. Let's move on to Zhao Yun, who also reached the same level from the Yellow Turbans. For the next level we move ahead 7 years to the winter of the year 191 and the battle at Hulao Gate. We get a scene of Yuan Shao giving a message about taking down Dong Zhuo. The three kingdoms have once again come together to take down this tyrant. However, Dong Zhuo has got Lu Bu in his army. So let's have a look at what this is even about. So after the Yellow Turbans were done, the Emperor died and Dong Zhuo wound up at the top. He's a massive prick. So Han loyalists band together under the leadership of Yuan Shao and their forces meet with Dong Zhuo's at Hulao Gate. Despite the weight given to Lu Bu being in Dong Zhuo's army, I can ignore him completely, which is advised, and only kill Dong Zhuo to win. So the reason I saved Zhao Yun, series mascot, for the second level is because he was the first character I went through Musou mode with, and I wanted to get this out of the way as soon as possible. This is very difficult to do, but clearing this level with over 1,000 kills will unlock Lu Bu as a playable character in free player mode. You may wonder why I'm going for this first try instead of leveling a character up first and then going for it. The main reason is the bodyguards. As you level up, so do they, and you get more of them. Kills from your bodyguards do not get added to your kill total. Having a set of very powerful bodyguards makes getting the 1,000 kills pretty much impossible because they're too good. So I chose to just get it done and out of the way as quick as possible. One thing I did was abandon my own route, as Guan Yu is also there taking up kills that could be mine, and he's quite good at it. Instead I go down the far east route into Xiahou Dun's territory and start taking kills there. While down here I take out the General Li Meng. Being the mascot, Zhao Yun is the well-rounded character. Apart from his reach, he doesn't excel in anything, nor is he bad at anything. This time when I get to a gate, instead of killing the captain, I hang outside killing whoever keeps coming through. I need every kill I can get. Of course I can't just hang outside of one gate and wait until I reach 1,000 kills for a couple reasons. First is that it would take forever at the rate they spawn, and I only have 100 minutes before I fail the battle automatically. Second is that my allies will eventually kill the gate captain themselves if I leave them to it. I keep heading further south, where it starts snowing. Nothing interesting happens for a couple minutes and my arsehole bodyguards keep getting in my way. There's another gate here where I managed to finally reach my 100th kill about 10 minutes in. Only 900 more to go. Dong Zhuo doesn't like me doing so well and sends Lu Bu out. His very appearance lowers morale, but he's all the way down in that corner, it's not a problem. After this gate the path bends west and then north a little. On this path is the first general I've seen in a while, Shu Ron. I managed to kill him despite Cao Ren and Cao Hong's best attempts to steal my kill. They're both generics here, but I believe I have played as Cao Ren in Orochi 3. Cao Hong doesn't ring any bells, so I don't think he's been promoted to playable yet. Might be wrong though, Orochi 3 has quadrillions of playable characters, I can't remember them all. Killing Shuron opened the gate forward. I leave those other guys at the gate to deal with the enemy there and run off on my own so I can get some kills further on without them holding me back. At this point it really sinks in how challenging the 1000 kills is. I'm still kind of weak, so even one enemy takes about 4 or 5 hits to kill, but if I get stronger, my bodyguards get too strong as well and steal all my kills. It is kind of funny that I'm having to really try just to get 1000. I remember when I played Orochi 3, my first time through the first level I got 3000 kills. Nearing the end of this path I take on Nyofu at a gate. There's some archers on top, but they only hit me right after I kill him. The gate opens and Cao Cao's force chooses to stay at the gate until the other groups make it further. This will make things much easier for me since I can run around that whole massive rail on the map without them getting involved. And I lose a bodyguard here as well. Past the gate I get my 200th kill. I take on Gao Shun, and at this point enemies are taking even more hits to kill. Gao Shun himself takes ages, I even get in a weapon struggle with him. I just have to mash buttons to win. Once he's dead I head north into that huge territory alone, basically salivating at the kill count I could get from it. As long as all those groups further north take their time getting their gates open. I've already slowed Guan Yu's group down by abandoning them. Here I end up surrounded and having 2 generals on me at once, Guo Si and Li Ju. Yuan Shao keeps begging me to come back, but I ignore him. One upside to being low on health is that your Musou bar fills up automatically, and quite quickly too. I do have to pull back a bit though so I can find a healing item. I head back to the others and now Jia Shu also wants a piece of me. I get hit a lot and have to escape further north to a locked gate to heal. I finally take out Li Ju, making Jia Shu fall back. Guo Si just fucked off somewhere else when I wasn't looking. I next clear out a gate next to this big gate. During this I get my 300th kill. I leave the captain alive so he can spawn some more kills for me. I head up along the wall above the huge gate and accidentally fall off onto the front trying to take out the archers on top. This puts me in a fight with Hu Zhen and Hua Xiong. As I try fleeing north, Fan Chou is also there. I manage to flee into the areas populated by only my allies. I then hang behind them, get close to the enemy and try using all those arrows I built up. I get to watch Guan Yu kill Fan Chou right in front of me while I was firing many arrows towards him. But I get cocky and try running in for a Musou attack only for one guy to run up behind me and cut me down, losing me that entire half an hour. I do better next time. I already have over 300 kills by the time I make it back to the Guo Si, Li Ju, Jia Shu section. This time I manage to kill Guo Si, he doesn't just disappear. This time when I get back to the wall, I'm a lot more careful fighting these archers and get my 400th kill while up there. Also, here's a memory card locking in my first 404 kills. I jump over the front of the wall since no one else is there yet and take on all those generals gathered in front of it. I get hit a lot, but so many enemies also fills my Musou bar quickly. So it's a loop of building up the bar and frantically checking everyone I killed for health refills. I managed to kill Hu Zhen after taking many beatings. When you're surrounded, an effective method of escape is jump attacking. It also deals a little bit of damage and at this point, I'll take everything I can get. Hua Xiong is pretty strong for me right now, so I'm back to running, building meter and chipping away whatever bits of health I can. In the end, it takes me taking out the entire unit except him to make fighting him even remotely feasible. I managed to kill him with arrows. This opens a gate, but I first head north to fight the back half of that group. I end up reuniting with that unit of Guan Yu's that I abandoned as I reach that halfway point, 500 kills. By the time I've reached 545 kills, I notice how much my allies have descended on the southern area and realise how many kills I could lose to them. I trust Lu Bu will hold my allies back and I head up that mostly untouched northwestern path. I clear it out but get killed on the way back at 588 kills. Take 3. Next time I try heading directly south and taking on that entire area alone. An officer of Dongzhuo, Zhang Liao, shows up and he's important enough to get a cutscene. That's because he's a playable character and thus stronger than the others. He kills me at 453 kills. On my 4th attempt I tried taking him out first. Knocking him down and pumping him full of arrows is the trick. Rather than die, he flees. He drops a very nice +4 to my attack stat. I see Lu Bu's force's morale is dropping and think, can I? And keep moving south. Turns out I can't as I get killed trying to clear out a gate. Next time same strategy. Take out Zhang Liao and keep heading south. As I'm nearing 500 kills again, I can just see Lu Bu hanging back there in the distance, trying not to trigger a fight until I'm ready. I take out all enemies on both sides a little north of Lu Bu's unit, getting me up to 557. I decide to try sneaking past him and taking out all those guys south of him. This triggers a cutscene showing Hu Lao Gate itself, I think. Once again I get rushed by generics on all sides, and these ones have a lot of health. Eventually I attract the attention of Li Ru. I'm also taking fire from archers on top of the gate. Li Ru turns out to be much easier to bring down than most of the other generals I've fought recently. His death opens the gate and right after I reach 600 kills. Soon after I have to flee north to look for health thanks to those archers. I end up jumping back to that mass of archers in front of the central gate because I'm an idiot. Somehow that easier gets results as I take out those guys and reach 700 kills while I'm there. By the time I get back I have 780, but Cao Cao's troops are also marching on the gate so things look a bit dicey. I still need about 220 more kills. I managed to reach 800 in front of the entrance. I finally enter the gate at 840. Despite Xiahou Yuan breathing down my neck ready to kill, I take up so much space in this cramped bit that he can't take very many kills from me. Until he barges in front, that is, but he does pay when he gets his ass knocked off his horse. I trigger Dong Zhuo's introductory cutscene. Compared to how he looks by Orochi 3, he just looks normal here. I fight everyone around him while desperately trying to avoid killing him and ending the battle early. I also trigger a battle with Diao Chan here, who if I remember right is Lu Bu's lover. She's strong, so I decide to head up the stairs and take out the archers on top. He gets me killed. That's about 20 minutes and 480 kills lost. I appear to have either lost a recording or just didn't record it, as my next recording has me on top of Hulao Gate with 735 kills. I build back up to my 880 pretty quick, and no one else is here since I didn't open that gate in the middle yet. I reached 900 kills. So close. Then I discovered there was a memory card outside Hulao Gate this whole time in a crate. So now I'm locked in at 909 kills. Much less of a loss if I get killed now. Just hanging by the entrance, it's not that long before I reach that 1000 kills. Now I take on Dong Zhuo. I also try to avoid the southeast corner to prevent Diao Chan from noticing me. I end up having to flee many times to look for health, but in the end I get worn down and killed. At this point it's not a big loss though, and I manage to juggle Dong Zhuo with a Musou attack and kill him. Finally. The description of me playing this level might have been long, but this was about 3 to 4 hours here. Zhao Yun gets 3 levels, reaching first Horse General. I also unlocked Lu Bu. For the third level of the Shu Kingdom playthrough, I'll cover it as Zhang Fei, the last of the starting Shu characters. But the second to last character I went through Musou mode as, including unlockables as I went from left to right in select screen order. So if it looks like I'm doing a lot better as him, it's because I've done many more playthroughs between Zhao Yun and Guan Yu and him. Also, it seems I did a lot of grinding as him on Yellow Turbans in free play, as he suddenly has 33,000 experience points and reached 2nd West General with 6 elite bodyguards by the end of Hulao Gate. I must have been wanting to speed these Musou modes up as much as I can since there's no recording of me doing these grinds. Now this is where each kingdom's story takes a different path. Level 3 for the Shu Kingdom is 17 years after Hulao Gate at the Battle of Changban in the year 208. New base forces have been overtaken by Cao Caos, who they're pronouncing as Cao Cao. I'm interested to see how long that lasts. From what I gathered based on the background option, Dong Zhuo's death didn't stop the Han from staying top dog, and individual lords started plotting their own rise to power. Cao Cao defeats Yuan Shao and takes control of this area, and 8 years later marches on Jing, where Liu Bei, the lord of the Shu Kingdom, had settled down I think. He tries to escape while I have to hold off Cao Cao's forces. This is kind of a visually unappealing level. The sunset just slaps a bright orange filter over everything. Within seconds I run into Dian Wei. I also start the level on a horse, but aside from the added movement speed, I don't like to use them. Trying to fight on one tends to feel really clunky. Zhang Fei pretty much has the same starting stats as Guan Yu, along with the same range with his weapon. This fight with Dian Wei and the many troops around me is much easier than we've seen before thanks to the grinding. That and I don't need to aim for a specific kill count anymore, so I defeat him easily and he flees the battlefield. I head to the south and capture a gate, and then head back to where I fought Dian Wei to find that Xu Ju has made his way there. So I take him out and he also flees. Liu Bei is advancing east and I could go help with that, but instead I head northwest, claiming another gate on the way. I keep going west to take on Xu Huang and Xiahou Dun. Xu Huang goes first and Xiahou Dun rams his face right into my Musou attack, letting me defeat him not long after. He also flees. I take another gate and keep heading north. I get told Liu Bei needs assistance, but I'm bad at doing what I'm told and keep heading north to take on Zhang He. Now that's a name I do recognise and I'm surprised to see him as a generic here. Just as I take him out, Eugene also gets involved, so I juggle him to death with my Musou attack. And just as I'm defeating him, Zhang Liao shows up again. I knock him off his horse as I'm trying to find him in the chaos. Xiahou Yuan also shows up wanting a go. The same Musou attack that defeats Zhang Liao also knocks Xiahou Yuan off his horse. Zhang Liao also flees. Xiahou Yuan is the toughest guy so far, but he's still nothing compared to some of the guys I dealt with as a weaker Zhao Yun at Hulao Gate. He's another one I juggle to death. Or juggle till he flees. I take another gate in the far northwest corner and take the long, mostly empty path east along the north of the map. I claim another gate on the way. I finally reunite with my allies in the northeast corner and find a memory card to heal and save with, not that I'll be needing it here. I get heading south to clear the path for Liu Bei. I secure another gate and then another. Continuing south I come into contact with and defeat Cao Ren, and just west of him is another gate to take. A little later I reach the southeast corner of the map, cross a bridge and claim another gate. There's also another memory card in front of this gate. I loop back around to the southwestern territory where I began to find it's been overrun by Cao Cao's army. First up is Cao Hong, who I take out with no trouble. After him is Cao Pi, who falls just as quickly. He drops me my first on-screen permanent health boosting item. Before I can move anywhere else, Xiahou En shows up to get killed. After he dies I finally get close to Cao Cao to trigger his intro scene. But first I have Cao Zhang to deal with. Now when I basically ended his entire family, I reclaim the gates I took earlier and take on Cao Cao himself. Liu Bei's reinforcements arrive just in time for me to juggle most of Cao Cao's health away. Between beatings, I'm also taking the time to kill the many archers surrounding me. Something I haven't mentioned yet is that officers can get various buffs and benefits if you knock them down and they get up. In Cao Cao's case here, he keeps getting healed whenever I knock him down. In the end, I whittle him down with arrows and then juggle the rest of his health to make him flee too. All those kills get Zhang Fei to first South General, giving him 8 bodyguards. But now I've run out of default Shu characters and I still have 2 levels left. Well, there's unlockable characters. 3 more Shu Kingdom characters are unlocked by beating Musou mode as just one of them. So when I first beat the game as Zhao Yun, I unlocked Ma Chao, Jiang Wei and Hua Zhong. I'll start with Ma Chao. By the time I cleared Changban with him, he'd reached 3rd Lance General. Level 4 for the Shu Kingdom is 13 years after Changban, for the Battle of Yiling in summer 221. The cutscene has a single sentence between Zhou Yu and Lu Xun, and then the Shu guy is just hanging in a tent. At Changban, Liu Bei, with the help of the Wu Kingdom Sun Quan's help, fought off Cao Cao's forces. He also regains control of Jing at the Battle of Chebi, which isn't part of the Shu playthrough. Using Jin as a base, Liu Bei takes control of Shu. Then we get mention of Zhuge Liang's Heavenly Triangle, but doesn't tell me what it is. Sun Quan feels threatened by Liu Bei's growth, so he teams up with the Wei Kingdom and takes control of Jing. This battle takes place a year into Liu Bei's attack on Yiling Castle. His troops are too exhausted to notice the Wu Kingdom's counterattack. To win this battle, I have to defeat Sun Quan. And wow, what the hell happened here? Why is my recordings of Yiling so dark? I'll see if I can do something about it in editing, but if I can't, sorry. After a few seconds of continuing east along the central path, I run into Gan Ning. So I haven't given my opinions on how any of the characters play so far. That's because most characters are just fine. But Ma Chao I hated every second of playing as. He has shorter range than the last 3 and his basic combo always felt very clunky to me and the animation too long for too little damage. I was getting hit in between attack animations as him far more than anyone else. I do at least remember Ma Chao for being one of the 3 starting characters in Warriors Orochi 3. I think he liked Justice a lot and executed another playable character's family, but she's not in this game. While I'm fighting Gan Ning, another general, Ding Feng, also shows up and gets involved. And then after him, Taishe Se, and also Xu Sheng, so I have 4 officers and a shitload of generics surrounding me. I take none of the officers and die with only 19 kills. I last longer next time because I don't get surrounded at the beginning, I just get Gan Ning's unit. After a while a fire is started that causes heavy damage to Zhang Fei's force in the southwest. Taishe Se catches up again but the other 2 are nowhere to be found yet. I hang back and arrow away Gan Ning's health and finish him off. Unlike all the fleeing last chapter, this guy actually dies. Although in the end I did lose half of my bodyguards to him. Things aren't looking good for us right now as Zhang Fei is killed soon after. Taishe Se seems to have disappeared as I keep moving east. This leads to a fork branching in 4 directions. I take the path north and meet up with Zhao Yun to help him out. I figure out where Taishe Se went, he went all the way to the northwestern corner to pick a fight with Liu Bei. Instead I keep going east along the northern path, which puts me in a fight with Lu Meng. He ends up being a little easier to fight than Gan Ning, at first. Having Zhao Yun nearby taking out the soldiers around us helps too, although Ling Tong shows up to help out Lu Meng to make things more even. I end up losing another bodyguard. This particular fight goes on for a while and I end up dangerously close to death many times. After a few minutes I manage to kill Ling Tong first. However, Lu Meng manages to defeat Zhao Yun and soon after he takes me out. In my 3rd attempt I kill Xu Sheng and then accidentally find another memory card before I even kill Gan Ning, essentially wasting it. This time when I go north I end up fighting Taishe Se before he can reach Liu Bei. My bodyguards distract him while I arrow him a bit and then get in the final blow, killing him. I then take the same route towards Lu Meng that I did last time. This time when I fight him, Zhou Yu decides to join in. They both decide to gang up on Zhao Yun while I take the time to get rid of all these crossbow guys. After a long fight I manage to kill Lu Meng with an arrow, but seconds later Zhou Yu manages to take out Zhao Yun. I kill him the same way I did Taishe Se, distract him with my bodyguards and arrow him to death. I keep heading east and then south, claiming a gate on the way. By the gate is a 2nd memory card, keeping Gan Ning, Taishe Se, Lu Meng and Zhou Yu dead even if I die again. Heading halfway down the path gives me a big group of bowmen to take out. It's around here I end up teaming with Huang Zhong. A little further south is another gate to take. Meanwhile, south of HQ, Lu Xun gets confused by Zhuge Liang's stone warrior formations. Continuing south we get a typo from Huang Zhong. It's time to get serious. After this, Han Dang rides by and swats me out of the air. Instead of fighting him I backtrack all the way to HQ and head south into those stone formations to take on Lu Xun's unit. Oh my god, I can actually see again. While I'm taking on the soldiers, Lu Xun himself shows up. Somewhere. It's a while before we see him and I just keep on fighting the grunts until he passes by on his horse and I knock him off. And Yuran shows up here as well because things can't be too simple. And Huang Gai's hanging around here too. I end up having to fall back so I can look for help. I end up finding a memory card near HQ so that's less to worry about. I head back in there and start fighting Lu Xun again. As I'm beating him up, I find that Zhou Tai also hangs around here. That's 4. I focus all my attention onto Lu Xun though and kill him first. I next get Zhou Tai and Huang Gai ganging up on me. Huang Gai goes down first, followed closely by Zhou Tai. However, while looking around for a healing item, I get taken out by an arrow. On my next try, Pan Zhang also gets involved in my fight with Lu Xun and the many generals. He dies first, followed by Lu Xun, Huang Gai and Zhou Tai again. It seems Zhu Ran was killed by someone else. With those guys taken care of, it's just the guys in the southeastern corner. I head south from where I am into our own burning camp and see if I can find a 4th memory card, but I come up short, so I move onto this gate and secure it. Approaching Sun Quan from the east, I first take on Jiang Qin and kill him. Moving in further east, I find one more memory card to save with. Soon after, I start a fight with Sun Shangxiang. At this point, I'm mostly alone and surrounded. All my bodyguards are dead, and whatever allies still remain are approaching Sun Quan from the north. I mostly ignore Shangxiang and try taking out everyone around her so they can't get in my way. I also take another gate while I'm there. After I've cleared out a fuckton of enemies around here, I take on both Sun Shangxiang and Cheng Pu at once. Cheng Pu goes first, then I clear out some more troops, which includes taking the final gate. I also decide to take out all the nearby bowmen. By this point, everyone but Sun Quan have been taken out by my allies, including Sun Shangxiang, so I take on Sun Quan with them and finish him off. It does take a few minutes, since he likes to recover his health very often, but I manage it. Yep, that was a final time of 84 minutes. Playing as Ma Chao was a slog. He gets promoted to 2nd Lance General. For the final Shu Kingdom level, I'll cover it as Huang Zhong. Like Zhang Fei, I grinded him up to Chariot General before the 5th level. He was the character I played through just before Zhang Fei, and I was getting burned out from default level runs taking forever. In fact, it was Ma Chao who set me on the grinding beforehand path because I got so fed up doing his Musou mode. Shu's final level is 13 years after Yi Ling. It's the battle at Wujiang Plains in autumn 234. Zhuge Liang is in his tent coughing. It then sounds like they got some teenagers to voice the cutscene in Sima Yi's tent.
The enemy has begun to move!
Finally! Zhuge Liang, I've been waiting for this.
According to Wikipedia, Sima Yi would be about 55 years old here. After defeating Sun Quan at Yi Ling, Liu Bei manages to conquer the entire Wu territory, viciously the Shu and Wei kingdoms. In 227, 7 years before this battle, Liu Bei campaigns against Cao Cao. Neither side holds an advantage because Zhuge Liang's strategies are being countered by Sima Yi. To break the deadlock, Liu Bei's army moves to Wujiang. Cao Cao and Sima Yi also move there to stop them. To win this battle and finish the Shu Kingdom playthrough, I have to defeat Cao Cao. And we have another extremely dark level. As Huang Zhong, I start in the southwestern corner of the map. I advance north and immediately take on Zhang He. Huang Zhong has average attack and defense and short range, but his sword swings are very wide so he can hit many enemies at once. He's more fun than Ma Chao to me. Zhang He doesn't last long before he's killed. I get back on my horse and... I get back on my horse and head north and then west towards a bridge. Here I get a rematch with Xu Ju. I take the gate at the far end past the bridge. As I'm cutting up Xu Ju and his many soldiers with my Musou attack, I'm interrupted by Zhang Liao getting involved. Eugene is also involved. The generic thinks he has a chance too. Xu Ju is first to fall. They all got to escape back at Changban, but not this time. Zhang Liao falls not long after. I cross the bridge, take out the archers on the other side and secure another gate. I keep going north and follow the path around and south. I'm just heading straight for Cao Cao while Xiahou Yuan wipes out my allies. On the way I run into and kill Zhong Hui, and right after him is Dang Ai. Next to him is Memory Card. Running up that hill to the north triggers a cutscene where Sima Yi causes a rockfall on some Shu troops. Continuing north actually puts me in combat with Sima Yi. I whack him off his horse and almost juggle him to death with my Musou attack, but the camera screwed me and I lost him, so it wasn't very satisfying. Still kill him though. This is pretty much what you can do when you've grinded enough. Fuck everyone else, charge for the main target. I head through the gate and very quickly cut down most of Cao Cao's guards before I confront the man himself. But he has family backing him up. Cao Zhang and Cao Pi are also here. They don't survive. Cao Zhang dies first and Cao Pi doesn't last much longer. All that remains is Cao Cao, who is strong but isn't a match for my Musou juggle. But before I show the final blow, let's cover the other Shu Kingdom characters I couldn't fit in. Jiang Wei plays exactly like Ma Chao. Same moveset, same animation. So I haven't said much about these characters despite the fact that they're real people, and that's because the game doesn't tell me much about them. I don't really know most of their roles in history, and the game doesn't tell me. The personalities that the later games are known for aren't here yet. If I've described the events behind these battles poorly, it's because that's all I got from the game's own info. Why am I saying this now? Because with Jiang Wei being a clone, it's the only way to get more than 5 seconds of footage used. There's so little to be said. Those 3 weren't the only unlockable Shu characters. Completing Musou mode as the 3 starters, Xiao Yun, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei unlocks Zhuge Liang. This is a pretty unique one. He fights with a fan that has pretty short range normally, but his combo enders with triangle tend to extend the range quite a bit. His Musou is especially useful if you don't want to be constantly moving. In a game where the movesets are mostly grounded, he stands out the most. He's the closest to what I remember in Orochi 3. Finally, completing Musou mode as all 3 starting Shu characters and all 4 other unlockables allows you to play as their lord, Liu Bei. He's an alright one too. I do notice that more than half of the Shu characters use very similar weapons. Huang Zhong, Zhuge Liang and Liu Bei are the only ones to not use a blade on a stick. Liu Bei was also the last character I completed Musou mode with, once again thanks to going by select screen order left to right. All that's left now is to deal a finishing blow to Cao Cao at Wujiang. The Shu ending is Liu Bei riding with Guan Yu and Zhang Fei as the narrator says he restored the Han to power and began the era of Shu Han. We then get a generic text scroll saying your character did very well, always ending with calling your character the greatest warlord of all time. Of course that was just the Shu Kingdom, we still have 2 more, but they won't be as long. For one thing, all 3 kingdoms had the same first 2 levels, Yellow Turbans and Hulao Gate. The only thing that changes is your starting position. So moving on to the Wei Kingdom, starting with Xiahou Dun. We'll skip to the end of Hulao Gate where he reaches the rank of 2nd Horse General. For the Wei Kingdom, level 3 is 9 years after Hulao Gate, the battle at Guandu in spring 200. We get the great captain Yuan Shao's force Yuan Shao, who demands that Cao Cao surrender. Cao Cao basically says he's smarter than Yuan Shao and that's it. We get told the same part about the lords wanting their own power after Dong Zhuo's death. Basically the War in States period started as the lords turned on each other. At this point Yuan Shao and Cao Cao turn on each other too and meet at Guandu for war. My victory condition is the defeat of Yuan Shao. Let's begin. Oh great, another pitch black level. I start on a horse going southeast along the central path. Xiahou Dun is pretty good. His sword is long so he has good range, add to that his attacks are both powerful and fast, and he's probably one of the best characters in the game. Good defense too so he can take a hit. I spend a couple minutes fighting down this massive red on the minimap until I meet my first general, Yuan Shi. He's not much of a threat and I take him down. At this point I've lost 2 bodyguards as well. I spent quite a bit of time in the centre path as Yuan Shi had a lot of troops with him. When I'm done I reach the western end of the path and start heading south. This gets me in conflict with Yuan Tan and his troop, and Xun Shen, who I didn't know was here until my Musou attack was sending him flying. Lu Wei Kuang also strolls up on his horse. I lose another bodyguard but go apeshit with the Musou attacks. Lu Wei Kuang is the first to drop, followed by Xun Chen, and then Yuan Tan runs away and charges back at me, putting him in prime position to be arrowed to death. I continue my journey south while Zhang Liao's unit up north is defeated. I take on a gate captain in the southwest to cut off reinforcements. They really struggle in the north because Xu Zhu is taken out too. And then Guan Yu. Oh yeah, he's helping out too. I finally take out that captain and can move on. I head further south to another gate, but an off-screen bowman kills me. This time after I kill Yuan Shi and reach the west end of the path, I go north instead. At the fork I go west and secure a gate and just get smacked down and told no, killing me. Next time I turn around and ride my horse up north to deal with the guys up there. This has me fighting Yan Liang's unit. I take out soldiers outside the castle and move west to fight and kill Yan Liang himself. I keep moving west to fight Wen Chou's unit. Han Xun also drops by. He quickly drops to the floor dead. His death opens a couple gates in the northwest corner of the map. As I keep moving west, a huge enemy force shows up in the south to attack our supply. That's miles away though and I can't be asked to do something about it. Bowmen then make an attack on the Guandu castle gate, but as I said, miles away. So despite Guan Yu being on my side, when I enter this stronghold in the northeast corner, I encounter Zhang Fei who is under Yuan Shao's command. I'm sure this makes sense if you know the history, but this game doesn't give me an explanation as to why these two are on different sides. And Liu Bei is with Yuan Shao, so did Guan Yu deflect or what? Liu Bei does comment on Guan Yu being with Cao Cao and he and Zhang Fei begin to flee. I give chase though because I want the rewards for defeating them. Sadly they make it through the gate before I can kill the captain. At the very least it removes a huge chunk of the enemy force. I claim the gate though and backtrack east little to take on Wen Chou. I've been fighting his unit for ages and now I've reached him, he barely has anyone to protect him, so he goes down easy. I backtrack east some more to a fork and take the fork south to fight Chun Yu Qiang's unit. Also part of that unit is Hang Men, who is killed just as easily as Wen Chou. I head east into their depot, clear it and keep shooting Chun Yu Qiang from a distance until he's weak enough to cut down. This allows us to burn their supplies to the ground, giving us a massive morale boost. I go back to the southwestern corner to wipe out my old friends Lu Wei Kuang and Yuan Tan again. I claim the gate I got killed at the first time and another to the east. I head east a little more to battle Yuan Shao. While he's busy beating up my troops, I keep filling him with arrows until he's weak enough to crack over Ed with my sword. He's dead. Xiahou Dun gets a promotion to 4th Lance General. Next Wei character I will play as is Dian Wei, who reaches 3rd West General from his Guandu run. Wei's 4th level takes place 8 years after Guandu, the same year as Changban but a few months later, at the Battle of Chebi in winter 208. We can get some footage of Cao Cao on a boat and Zhuge Liang chatting strategy with Zhou Yu of Wu. Cao Cao's victory over Yuan Shao gave him control over the Central Plains. By 208 he has most of northern China and starts looking south. He scatters Liu Bei's men, conquering Jing. He starts moving east towards Yang, where he's met by Sun Quan's navy. We watch the ships move and start off in the middle of the map. I start by moving west and then south at the first chance. I believe Dian Wei is the only character in the game to have never participated in any of the battles included in this game. I may be wrong on that. I believe at least one character did because I read it somewhere while I was recording this game back in 2018. Dian Wei's attack movement is a little slow, but he has very good range and he's very strong. I'm cutting huge chunks out of enemy health. Around here is the first general I fight, Zhu Huan. One free hit combo takes a third of his health, I'm that strong right now. He doesn't last very long. I move east to another ship, carving through these bowmen. On the east end of the ship I run into Zhou Yu. Being Prime Minister and second only to Sun Quan in the hierarchy, he's pretty strong. As I fight him, Han Dang also shows up. He dies first. As I start cutting up Zhou Yu, an ambush force belonging to the enemy arrives. Shortly after, I kill Zhou Yu. I clear out his remaining soldiers and keep heading east. This brings me close to Lu Meng. Before he reaches me, Xu Sheng tries taking me on. It goes very badly for him. A few seconds later, Pan Zhang comes running along around the corner and meets a similar fate just as Zhou Tai shows up on screen. Killing him has Sun Quan losing 3 of his generals in the space of about 2 or 3 minutes. Lu Meng finally catches up to me after this and he doesn't fare much better. He lasts longer than the others, but I still cave his head in. After his death I decide to head all the way north. Before I reach land, I turn east to pick a fight with Lu Xun. He dies quicker than Lu Meng. From there I resume moving north and reach land to take on Huang Gai. He's taken out quicker than most generals. Moving north even more has me catch up to Gan Ning. I first take out all the bowmen surrounding us, and then Gan Ning gets a quicker death than any other playable character in this level by far. I head to the east to find a memory card, then further east to secure a gate. After that it's a long trek south. I reach the southern land and immediately take another gate, followed by one in the far southeast corner. I start heading west along the southern land, taking out Cheng Pu on the way. I ignore Sun Quan in the middle for now, and go to the southwestern corner to face Tai Shi Se. I might have killed him even quicker than Gan Ning. I claim the gate here and backtrack to Sun Quan. You've seen how I demolished everyone else in this battle. It doesn't go any different for Sun Quan, especially since at this point morale is pretty much gone for him, as is his entire army. He has a few goes at flailing that sword around, but I kill him like the rest in the end. Look at that list of officers I killed. He levels up twice to 1st South General. For the last Wei Kingdom level, I'll cover it as Xu Zhu, who reached Chariot General by the end of Chebi thanks to a lot of grinding. The last Wei level moves ahead 26 years, once again to the battle at Wujiang Plains. Same cutscene as Shu Kingdoms, and we know the background so I don't have to explain that again. Of course, this time I have to take down Liu Bei to win. I start in the northwest, just south of the bridge. The reason I'm fine with covering this level again is that I'm against a completely different army, so the level will go very differently. It's not like Yellow Turbans or Hulao Gate where the only difference is I'll start in a different place. I start by crossing the bridge to the north and heading east until I end up fighting Guan Yu's unit. Xu Zhu is also strong with long range like Dian Wei, but I find him harder to play as and not as fun. I find his attack animations harder to hit people with. It's why I spent so much off-screen time grinding him up to make up for those shortcomings. One of my least favourite Wei characters to play as, but still more enjoyable than Ma Chao and Jiang Wei. Guan Yu's son, Guan Xing, gets involved and I crush him under my mace. Zhou Tsang rides up on a horse soon after and gets killed just as fast. He's followed up by Guan Yu's other son, Guan Ping. As I fight him, Guan Yu himself shows up just so he can watch his oldest son die inches from his face. It's okay because he doesn't last long after that anyway. His death opens a gate to the south. I backtrack around the way I came and head south down the western side. All the way down in the southwestern corner I take a gate. Just a little to the east of that gate are Yan Yan and Huang Zhong. Yan Yan goes down in a few hits, and while Huang Zhong beats me up, Zhuge Liang has his bowmen take out a load of Wei's soldiers. Unfortunately for Huang Zhong, that cutscene interrupted his beating on me, letting me take over and smash his head in. I head north from there, finding a memory card on the way. From there I go east again. While I'm doing this, Ma Chao wipes out Dian Wei on the other side of the map. I go up this hill and run south along the edge, taking out all the archers I can. As I do this, more enemy troops show up to the rear of the left and right wings. Once all the bowmen on the west side are killed, I take off back to my starting position. Wei Yan's hanging out there, so I kill him and wipe out his unit. Since I've cleared out the west side, I start moving to the east side to help out there. First I take on Zhang Bao, and as I fight him, Zhang Fei approaches. Like Guan Yu, Zhang Fei gets to watch me kill his son in front of him before he too is killed. His death opens another gate on the east. I cross another bridge and go northeast and then south to stop Zhao Yun's advances. I smack him off his horse and Ma Dai shows up to help him out. During this, Zhang Liao managed to defeat Zhuge Liang's unit to open the gate to Liu Bei. Wu Lan also shows up to fight me, followed by Ma Chao. That's 4 officers at once. Wu Lan is the first to fall as I'm fighting Ma Chao. Jiang Wei shows up to replace him. I abandoned this fight for a bit to take on all these arsehole bowmen in the back. It doesn't work that well because they all just follow me. Zhao Yun juggles me with his own Musou attack, and as I try to run away to look for health, a single arrow kills me. I repeat my actions, and this time Wu Lan dies first again, and once again Ma Chao dies second. But this time I bring down Jiang Wei too. Zhao Yun is next. Ma Dai on the other hand just disappeared, so I assume one of my bodyguards got him. I keep heading south all the way to the southeast corner to clear a gate. I then go west to the gate where Zhuge Liang remains, as Zhang Lao didn't kill him in this attempt. He'd long been weakened by the sheer volume of soldiers surrounding him, and I very easily finish him off. This opens the Dragon Gate leading to Liu Bei. By the time I get close, it's just him and a few guards left. I take out the guards to keep them from interfering and then beat Liu Bei down. But like with Shu, before I deal the final blow, I'd like to cover the unlockable Wei characters. Clearing Musou mode as a single Wei character only unlocks 2 characters, unlike the 3 the other 2 kingdoms get. First is Xiahou Yuan. He plays pretty much like Huang Zhong with the same moveset, but he's better. He's a little stronger and faster. The only way he's worse is that his sword is a little shorter, but it doesn't make much difference. Next is Zhang Liao. After all the bladed stick wielders in Shu, he's the only one of those in Wei. And he's not that great. He's just kind of weak all around. He's down there with Xu Zhu. I still like him more than Ma Chao and Jiang Wei. He's weaker, but he just didn't feel as unfun to me. Clearing Musou mode as Xiahou Dun, Dian Wei and Xu Zhu unlocks Sima Yi. Sima Yi has the exact same moveset as Liu Bei. However, he's just a little better thanks to his better defense stat. For a guy, if I'm getting it right, wasn't a fighter and purely a tactician, he does very well in battles as a playable character. And finally, for clearing Musou mode as all 6 of the Wei characters, we unlock their lord, Cao Cao. He has his own unique sword moveset, but it's kinda hard to make them sound different when movesets are so small and grounded at the same time. So just take my word for it, his sword swings are different than the others. He's pretty good too, good at everything, no real weaknesses. Probably my favourite Wei swordsman to play as. Now for those death blows on Liu Bei. Ending is basically the same as Shu, but with Liu Bei, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei swapped for Cao Cao, Xiahou Dun and Dian Wei, with the uniforms turned from green to blue. And the narrator just saying Wei won. The ending scroll also stays the same, but with minor stuff like character and level names changed. Now it's time for the Wu Kingdom. Once again, Yellow Turbans and Hu Lao are basically the same, so I'll skip to their 3rd level. I'll start with Zhou Yu, who by the end of Hu Lao I grinded up to 34,000 points and to the rank of 2nd West General. The 3rd level of the Wu Kingdom's playthrough is playing their side in the battle at Chebi. I start in the middle southish part of the map and start by heading west a little and then north to take on Xiahou Dun's unit. He's no sword wielder who's decently strong with good defense. His main weakness is the short length of his sword. Around here I run into Xiahou Yuan. One thing I really like about Zhou Yu is his Musou attack is one of those ones that's very easy to juggle people with. Shame Xiahou Yuan is good at not letting me hit him and he kills me. Next time I try a different strategy. I head south onto land, then go all the way west and north onto the ships there. This puts me right into battle with Xiahou Dun. Also here is Yue Jin, who I kill pretty quickly. Xiahou Dun then gets juggled again until he has to flee. I continue north and run into Xiahou Yuan again. This time I take down his thousands of soldiers, gain attack ×2 and knock him about until he runs away. I keep heading north, past all the soldiers to take on Xu Zhu. Zhang He is here too, and for a while it's up in the air which one I'll kill first. One will get close, but then someone will knock them down and they get a free heal. Xu Zhu is defeated first, and after he runs off I deal with Zhang He. I go north onto land and claim the 2 gates in the northwest corner. I move east along the land, taking the gate in the centre. Then it's directly south, back onto the ships. I get close enough to Cao Cao to trigger his introduction. Instead I go back on land, head east and then south to take on Xu Huang. While I'm fighting him, Xun You also gets involved. Xu Huang is defeated first, and Xun You gets juggled to death a few seconds later. Eventually, most of Cao Cao's officers have been defeated, so Zhou Yu takes the opportunity to set Cao Cao's fleet on fire. It has the nice side effect of letting me actually see the floor now in my recording. This wipes out the majority of Cao Cao's forces and tanks their morale. I go just south of where Cao Cao is hanging out to take out the only officer left, Dian Wei. I keep trying to get close to him to hit him, but my bodyguards keep swarming him and pushing him out of my reach. I eventually manage to break through and finish him. With him down, all that's left is to take on Cao Cao. He's fled north onto the land, but that doesn't help him. He barely has anyone left to help out, so I just slowly wear him down. Cao Zhang shows up at one point, but I deal with him while Cao Cao is busy being surrounded. After this, he essentially gives up and lets me finish him, making him flee too. Zhou Yu gets promoted to 1st West General from this. Next character I cover will be Lu Xun, who reached the rank 1st South General after clearing Che Bi. The 4th level for Wu is their exclusive one, 7 years after Che Bi at the Battle of Hefei in summer 215. The cutscene has Zhou Yu leading an army while flashing back to talking about dealing with Cao Cao and giving orders to Gan Ning. Cao Cao has been forced to relinquish Jing after Sun Quan's navy defeated him at Che Bi. This also gives Liu Bei a chance to take back southern Jing and rebuild his forces. In 215, Sun Quan and Liu Bei team up to attack Cao Cao. Sun Quan attacks at Hefei, while Liu Bei attacks at Hanzhong, which is not covered in this game. Finally, a level not in the dark. Lu Xun starts in the northwestern corner. I start heading east, which gets me near Xiahou Dun. Xu Huang passes by and I pick a fight with him. Lu Xun is a weaker character with short range, but he makes up for it with speed. His Musou attack is a fun one to watch too. I defeat Xiahou Dun and this time he dies. So the gist I get is that a character won't die in a battle they didn't historically die at unless it's their final appearance in Musou mode, because by the end they're going to what if territory anyway since all 3 kingdoms can't have won in the end. Xu Huang gets taken out not much later. I keep going east to clear out some stragglers from Xiahou Dun's unit. While doing so I claim this gate. Continuing east and crossing another bridge gets me close to Xiahou Yuan. Wanna see a cruel tease? In a single Musou attack it looks like I've killed him. But no, he survived with the tiniest amount of health and got a free heal. A couple more Musou attacks from me wipe out most of his unit, making him easier to fight. I then clear out the bowmen just in case. He gets backed up by some soldiers from both Dian Wei and Xu Ju's units. An enemy attack force also shows up at one of our main camps. Right after this happens, I kill Xiahou Yuan. I ignore the camp trouble and clear another gate further to the east. South from there is another bridge that takes me to Zhang He. While I fight him, Gan Ning springs a trap that has many Wei soldiers mowed down. Zhang He is very easy to kill and I start moving further south, along this moat outside a fortress. The Western Gate Inn opens while I'm doing this. I go east again and end up directly south of the fortress and take on Yu Jin. Like Zhang He, he's no trouble. A few steps east of him is Yue Jin to kill. His death opens a southern gate into the fortress. East of that is another gate to secure. From there I go south some more, taking out Cao Hong on the way. Right after him I take out Cao Ren as well. Further south and west around the corner I also kill Xu Ju. I am on a roll. I keep moving northwest to take on Dian Wei, who turns out to be really easy to kill for a playable character. Then it's south to a memory card and a bridge to cross. I'm now finally dealing with that camp invasion, after most of the damage has already been done. As I get there, Sun Quan's naval reinforcements arrive. I then take on Zhang Liao, who I've let wreck this place long enough. Hefei's in the west gate also opens during this fight. I'm not sure whose death caused that. The inner southern gate also opens further into the fight. I somehow get really lucky with Zhang Liao. Despite knocking him down twice with Musou attacks, he doesn't get a heal either time he gets back up, so he doesn't take anywhere near as long to kill as he would have. All that's left to do now is take Hefei. I find a memory card just outside and enter through the southern gate. Cao Cao is standing in the middle, but first I get on top of the wall to get rid of any bowmen. Then I drop down to take him on. At this point he's completely surrounded and has no chance, so I just stab him until he keeps trying to run away from me. He keeps getting away until he stops to get in a weapon struggle with me, which gives me the chance to kill him. I get a lot of experience, but no level up for Lu Xun. The character I'll be covering the final level with is Sun Shangxiang, who at the end of Hefei has reached 3rd East General. The final level for Wu, and final level I'll be covering overall, is once again the Battle of Yiling, but from Wu's perspective against Xu. Sun Shangxiang starts off far behind the front lines, giving me plenty of choice on where to start. I decide to take decent path to the north. First thing I do in combat is take on Zhou Sang. Sun Shangxiang is a little like Lu Xun. She's a faster character but is a little weaker for it. Her attack range is a little inconsistent. Some attacks have not great range while others are quite good. When you level up her strength through item drops from officers, it makes her quite enjoyable to play as when you're doing decent damage. After killing Zhou Sang, Guan Ping shows up and I end him too. Something I should bring up is that in a lot of levels, including Yiling, I could just run right for the enemy commander and kill them to end the level early. But I know as part of 100% I have to max out every character's stats, which is why I've tried to kill every officer I can for those stat boosting items. I keep heading north to take on Guan Yu. He doesn't hit me once before I kill him. Killing him actually increased their morale by severely pissing off Zhang Fei. I head west and then south at the fork to fight Zhao Yun and Wei Yan. Sun Shangxiang's free light attacks and fierce combo is very good for clearing enemies since their weapons circle her and hit on all sides. Zhao Yun ends up being pathetically easy to kill here. Wei Yan tries running away to the south and I follow him. He turns west at the fork and my chase brings me into contact with Ma Chao. I finally get fed up with the chase and just put an arrow in his back so I can catch up to him. But he still keeps running and Ma Dai shows up to distract me and let him get away. Ma Dai is a total pushover who dies in a few hits. I backtrack east a little as Huang Zhong is trying to fight for the troops. Good thing I raised her attack stats so much because this would take forever otherwise thanks to his healing. He's not a threat, it's just that my bodyguards keep knocking him down when he's nearly dead and triggering his heal. If that's not bad enough, the cheeky fuckers steal my kill at the last second. I once again go to the fork to take on Ma Chao and finish him off too. Thankfully my bodyguards aren't an issue this time. From the fork I head south into the enemy camp. First I kill Shamokir with no trouble, then secure a gate at the far south and another to the west. I leave Zhang Fei to my allies near HQ and move north, which triggers a scene of my character being confused by the Stone Warriors. What this means is that while I'm in here, the minimap doesn't show. First I head west and take another gate, then I head straight north and come out the other side. First thing I do after getting out is get the memory card here and take on Wu Lan. Zhuge Liang and Huang Chuan are also near and want to join in. Wu Lan drops first. While this has been going on, Zhang Fei has been tearing through my allies, with Lu Xun being his latest victim, but I pay no mind to it and take out Huang Chuan. Next in my sights is Zhuge Liang. My preferred combo takes out most of his unit and he doesn't last long after that. At this point I just need to defeat Liu Bei, but I still decide to go for Lei Tong for that easy officer kill. Now Liu Bei is all that remains in the far northwest corner, but first I take out the gate captain behind him, no reinforcements for him. With his only remaining ally being Zhang Fei on the complete other end of the map, Liu Bei actually manages to kill me because I got cocky and thought I wouldn't need to refill my health. I game next time though, but first I have the unlockable Wu characters to cover. For clearing Musou mode with a single Wu character, we unlock Taishe Se, Lu Meng and Gan Ning. Taishe Se would be a fine character, but he's let down by his abysmal range. A lot of his attacks just go straight out in front, which isn't helping when a lot of the time you're surrounded on all ends. On the lower end of fun for me, but still more enjoyable than Ma Chao and Zhang Wei. But to be fair, my Taishe Se playthrough was 9 playthroughs after my Zhang Wei playthrough, so I had plenty of time to get better at the game. Lu Meng shares many moves with Zhang Liao, but he's pretty much worse in every way. He's not very strong and he doesn't have very good range for a bladed stick guy. Down there is Taishe Se and Xiu Ju, but still above Ma Chao and Zhang Wei. Gan Ning has the same moveset as Huang Zhong and Xiahou Yuan, but he's better. He's faster and has really good health too. Probably the character I went through Musou mode quickest with. Clearing Musou mode as the 3 starters and the first 3 unlockables from Wu unlock Sun Jian and Sun Quan at the same time. Sun Jian plays exactly the same as Liu Bei and Sima Yi. Sun Quan also plays exactly the same as Liu Bei, Sima Yi and Sun Jian. I'd like to say more about these people as characters, but the game doesn't give me much in the way of personality for anyone. Now to finish off Wu. Once again same ending but with soldiers in purple and Zhou Yu, Lu Xun and I think Taishe Se. Once again small changes to narration and ending scroll. Now what's left is maxing out all characters, both through levels with experience and through stats boosted from items dropped by officers. Less than an hour after clearing all Musou modes, Liu Bei is the first character maxed with all stats at their highest and 99,999 experience points at the rank of Grand General. But we've also got some unlockable characters. Clearing Musou mode with 1 character from each kingdom unlocks Zhang Jiao, Liao Chan, Dong Zhuo and Yuan Shao. These characters have no Musou mode campaign since they don't belong to the 3 kingdoms, so they can only be used in free play. First we have Zhang Jiao, leader of the Yellow Turbans. Choosing to play as Zhang Jiao on the Yellow Turban side is awful because I start in the spot you fight Zhang Jiao normally and it's a ridiculous trek through no enemies to reach someone to fight. Zhang Jiao is yet another character who shares the same moveset as Liu Bei, Sima Yi, Sun Jian and Sun Quan, so there's not much to talk about there. You know what I said about that long trek down to the enemy? Don't fucking die down there because then it was all for nothing. Yellow Turban from the Yellow Turban side is a lot more straightforward. You just run down each of the 3 sections and clear them out one by one. Next we have the Yao Chan, who if I've heard right, never actually existed. Anyway, here's some footage of me playing He Fei on Cao Cao's side, only possible in free play. Of these 4 bonus characters, she's the only one who has a unique moveset with her ball sticks. She's fine, got good attack and very good defense, and her attacks are kinda fast too. In terms of dual wielders, she's leagues above Taishe Se in terms of fun. Then there's Dong Zhuo, showing a bit of footage of Guan Du on the Wu side. Dong Zhuo is yet another character who shares the moveset of Liu Bei, Sima Yi, Sun Jian, Sun Quan and Zhang Jiao. Given what I remember of this guy's personality from Warriors Orochi 3, that's a shame giving him especially a copy-pasted moveset. And finally Yuan Shao, seen here on Changban on the side of Cao Cao. Guess what? Another shared moveset with Liu Bei, Sima Yi, Sun Jian, Sun Quan, Zhang Jiao and Dong Zhuo. I wonder if these 4 bonuses were intended to be playable at some point, but since they had unique models and were programmed like playable characters, they just did it for the hell of it. I honestly don't mind, even if Dong Zhuo especially is a little blander than he could be. But they weren't the only unlockables, were they? Our last character is Lu Bu, seen here on Dong Zhuo's side at Hulao Gate. This means a long trek to get a fight just like Zhang Jiao at Yellow Turban. But at least Lu Bu has his red hair. Lu Bu has very high stats to begin with, so winning a fight isn't a problem. He also has very long range. But sadly I just didn't find him that fun to play as. Maybe I was expecting too much from him, but considering the hell I went through to unlock him, I think it's a shame I preferred a few other halberd wielders to him. I just didn't click with him. With every character covered, it's time for the grind. What this means is me replaying a lot of Yellow Turbans and just rushing through all of the officers and gate captains as quick as I can. And I do this on the Yellow Turban side because it's quicker with all the officers so close together in their free spots. Another good method for characters who can juggle with their fierce moves is to take out an officer and keep juggling their dead body. The larger the combo when they finally do die, the larger your stat increase item. There's also certain pots that guarantee a life up item, so I make sure to grab those every time too. And so after Liu Bei, in order I fully max out Zhang Fei, Huang Zhong, Zhuge Liang, Zhao Yun, Guan Yu, Gan Ning, Sun Jian, Taisha Se, Sun Quan, Lu Xun, Zhou Yu, Ma Chao, Jiang Wei, Xiahou Dun, Dian Wei, Xu Zhu, Cao Cao, Xiahou Yuan, Zhang Liao, Sima Yi, Sun Xiangxiang, Lu Meng, Zhang Jiao, Lu Bu, Yuan Shao, Dong Zhuo, and finally Diao Chan. That is every character with maxed out experience and all 3 stats maxed out too. I made that sound like it was quick, but it took me a week. Liu Bei was maxed out on the 25th of September 2018, Diao Chan was maxed out on the 2nd of October 2018. And that's Dynasty Warriors 2 fully complete. It's a decent game, but I do admit to being spoiled by the 2010s Warriors games I've played. This does feel a little clunky and the character movesets feel very basic. Difficulty can be a problem too, starting out can be painful. It's why in later playthroughs I started by grinding the character up a bit first. And there's also very little personality. I know this series will become known for over the top and larger than life characters and movesets, so I'm wondering when that starts. But once my characters were strong enough for it to be a challenge without being a pain, there was some enjoyment to be had. Without being an expert on the series, I'd say this is one of those only come back if you really want to see how things started, otherwise skip ahead to a later one game.